Well, would you believe it? We have yet another new E34 to be introduced on this channel. It just seems like it's every other video is a new purchase, which is a good thing because I need the content and I want the content for you guys, for myself. So, welcome home, yet another E34. The camera might make it look black, but this is actually Orient Blue, which is a very cool color that these cars came in. This is a 1995 525i, Orient Blue, parchment interior, 5-speed manual. The perfect combo, minus the interior color, but I'll let it slide because when it's nice, it's actually pretty nice. So this car, actually, I found it because a Instagram follower reached out to me, a local Instagram follower, and he hit me up and he said, hey, I got this car, needs some work. You are the first person I could think of that, I'd like this car to go to because he cared about the car. And we worked out a deal. And if you're watching this, shout out to you, man, because I appreciate the easy deal and the quick transaction, whatever. The guy was realistic. A lot of times lately, people aren't very realistic with what these cars are worth. And I got this car for cheap, but you'll figure out why I got it for cheap in a second here. So I will walk you guys around this car and show you everything. But mainly, why this car was so cheap is this. Oh yeah, that's half an engine right there. So this is why this car was so cheap, because it, I guess the story is he overheated the engine, blew the head gasket out. So he took it apart to obviously rebuild it, and then life gets in the way, as we all know, things get in the way, and never got the chance to finish it. And that is where it's sitting right now, unfinished. I have every single component needed to get this thing back together, as well as a freshly decked, hot tanked, totally cleaned up. I don't think I can call it totally rebuilt because I think, the valves and stuff are all original. But for what it looks like and for what he told me he paid, it seems like they would have done like valve stem seals and stuff, but I'm not sure. I'll show you guys that in a second. But we have absolutely everything to put this back together, and that makes me happy. And there's a couple other reasons why the car was cheap. It's not a mint condition car, which I'll show you guys as well. But this is the main thing, and this is my favorite thing for these cars, is to get the cars that have a clean body but need mechanical work, because you guys like to watch mechanical work. I like to do mechanical work. I don't do body work. I refuse to do body work. So being in the Midwest, it's a lot of rusty, shit boxes. But this car is pretty unrusty, and for that reason is why I wanted it, and I'm excited about it. Now, we have a few issues in here that I will discuss, but first let's run around the car real quick. I'll show you guys the details about it, and then we'll dig into what's going on in this engine bay. Mainly, we are going to figure out if this bottom end is seized or if I can fix it. So as I said, Orient Blue, and you can see right away the top panels, meaning the hood, the roof, and a little bit of the trunk, are suffering from some faded paint, which sucks, but faded paint is not as bad as rust. So this sucks, and I don't think there's really any easy way to fix this, because this is a 95, so I think this is clear coated paint. I'm almost positive, which means it's not as simple as just single staging it. This is basically the clears burnt through down into the base coat. But I kind of don't mind it, whatever. It's just top panel stuff, because otherwise, going around the car, and it's really filthy right now, but it's really clean, like super clean, like a fairly straight car. The bottom of the doors, very minor rust. From what I've seen, I would almost call these like rust-free doors, to be honest with you guys. And that's one of the things me and him discussed for the price of the car, was the condition of the bottom of the doors. And they got a little bit of rust on there. They're not totally perfect, but they are damn close to being perfect. So I'm pretty excited about those. Coming around, quarter panels are straight, trunk nice, bumpers fully intact, full stock exhaust, which is the best thing. These Orient Blue cars, I've owned two now. This is the second one I've owned. I owned the first one 2 years back. It was an auto junker car that I sold for really cheap. It also had the clear tails on it. I don't know if these came factory with the clears or if every owner just somehow wants to do that mod. This side, again, pretty straight. We got a couple dents here. Most notably, we have a decent dent right here, but I think PDR can get this out. Again, pretty clean doors. This door's actually got some rust forming on it. That sucks. So this one's not perfect. This back door Oh, the hood just fell. I was like, what was that noise? That scared me. This door is pretty clean. And then you can see we have the parts that consist of putting this engine back together. So the back seat's kind of all messed up. Rear door cards delaminating a little bit, and they were tried to fixed with like tacks. Didn't work so well, as it never does. But you can see there's our manifold clutch and then a lot of hardware in that bin. Coming up to the front on the inside, we got these super cool leather stitched floor mats. Front door cards, pretty nice. Coming inside here, it's actually not a bad car. We have both sets of the original keys. We have 5-speed manual with the nice wood shifts around wood knob. That's always a plus. Original radio, which is cool. I haven't even looked in here yet. Ooh, original owner's manual, always a plus for these cars. Let's open this up. Oh man, that's cool. Oh, and we got the radio code. Beautiful. That is great. So that means we could actually use this factory radio. Cal Cars Quick Tips BMW 5 Series. Now, I have never seen this before. This is pretty cool. What, dude, what is... I don't think this is an OEM... I don't think this is an OEM thing here. 1994 Cal Car Advertising Incorporated. All rights reserved. Authorized or endorsed by BMW North America. Dude, look at that maintenance schedule at a glance. Then you got onboard computer. This basically tells you all the things on the car, like what all the buttons do. Seat controls, audio system, driving tips. What does this tell you? Let's go to driving tips here. Touring at a glance. How cool, it even shows you touring stuff. Under the hood at a glance, tells you, oh my God, the oil selection, oil filler cap, all this important stuff, even for a 540, 525, 540. How cool, man. Locks, lock information with the keyless entry, which is what this car has. Man. Oh, here's the driving tips. Break-in period, tire economy and tips, snow tires, snow chains, anti-lock brakes, self-test for the ABS. This is super cool, man. I've never seen this, and that is really awesome. We got some BMW service manager, general manager, I guess dealership business cards, and then keyless entry system, service warranty information, anti-theft radio, and here is the owner's manual. So that's cool. I think this is a fully dressed, which might be a weird way to say that, but a full owner's manual. That's always a plus. And actually, one of the other things I forgot about this car is this is a 2-owner car. This guy got it from the original owner, and then he was driving it, enjoying it until he messed the head up. And now it is I'm the 3rd owner pretty much. So otherwise on the interior here, nothing too crazy. It's nice. This is a nice parchment interior. Usually they look a lot worse than that. The seats are in decent condition. Heated seats. That's fantastic. Anything electrical I don't know about because the battery is either unhooked or it's not in here. I don't remember. Or it's just flat dead. So we'll have to figure that out once we get there. But like it's even got like the original like radio code stuff on the windows here. So not a bad car at all. All the trim is on it. You know, this fender's got a little clear coat right there missing. We got one missing trim. We got I believe style 5s. I'm not no expert on these stock BMW wheels, but nice style 5s on it, not those stupid bottle caps. So that's a nice little upgrade. Tires got decent tread, but they look old. And then I don't think I showed the front bumper. Front bumper, super clean, cracking that fog light. Wide nose. This is the only wide nose E34 I own at the moment, and I'm not really a huge wide nose guy, but it is what it is. Clear corner lights. So yeah, this is a pretty nice car in a I think a rare color, and a really nice color on these cars actually. I'm pretty stoked to have gotten this for what I got it for, and just to have it in general. Yes, it needs some work, but that'll be fun. I've actually never done a head gasket job on these cars. Usually I'm the type of guy, if it needs an engine, I will replace the engine rather than just fixing it, because honestly most of the time you're better off just throwing in a used engine. But you know, this thing is already ready to go, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So here is obviously our Vanos stuff and all the valve cover hardware. Valve cover, and then Look at this beauty. Hot tanked head right here. Fully redone. It looks mint, dude. The cams look mint. It's just super clean. And here is the bottom. If I can, this might be difficult. Let's see if you guys can see the bottom. There's the bottom of it. So you can see freshly decked. The valves are perfectly clean. It looks mint. And that is the head that's going on the car, obviously. Really cool that the guy already had all that stuff done because it makes my life easier and cheaper. So that is cool. There's our head to put on. We got beauty covers, and then this is supposedly a full gasket kit for the engine, which we're gonna need, but the brand is ITM, and I don't know how I feel about using this. I'm a OEM parts fanatic, so I don't know if I'm gonna want to use this, but let's crack it open and see what it looks like. All right, so let's see how this head gasket kit looks and everything that's in it. I need to know this for myself too, because when I put this thing back together, I need to know if I have everything. Oh wow, look at this. Yeah, this is sure as hell a full kit. So we got valve cover gasket, oil or spark plug gaskets, exhaust manifold gaskets. We have valve stem seals, which I'm not going to do. There's the head gasket, exhaust manifold gaskets, which I think I already said. All the intake gaskets, water pump, thermostat, O-rings, crush washers, everything. This is, I believe, a full engine, at least full cylinder head gasket kit. I don't see like a rear main or anything in this, so it's not bottom end stuff. I don't see any timing cover gaskets, but we don't need to touch those because they're not important for getting the head on. So I don't know, ITM, I'm gonna look it up, see if it's a reputable, if it's like an AutoZone company. I kind of feel like this is a pretty reputable company, just maybe an older one. So I'm not sure I care to use these, meaning I probably will use them, save myself a buck, because I don't think this is very cheap, to be honest. But so that's a huge plus. So like I said, I have everything to put this thing back together. I just got to do it. But so now here is the issue that I mentioned earlier on. Since this car sat for as long as it did without a head on it, we have some flash rust that has entered the cylinders. So they don't look bad, and that's what we're going to try to do right now. I sprayed some fogging oil in there. That's what that liquid is that you see. So we're going to see right now if I can get these cylinders to come back. And what I'm going to do with that is, before you do anything abrasive, what you want to do is just use oil and a rag. So I'm going to go grab a rag, grab some 10W40, and just wipe these out really quick. And I'm going to film that, and we're going to see how they come back. I have a slight hunch that these will come back just fine because, you don't even feel the rust. Like, these feel fine. So I think we'll be all right without having to use any abrasives. And we're going to do this before we turn the engine over, because you want to get this cleaned up before you start introducing, rust contaminants down and up and down and up. So then once these are cleaned out, we will spin it a couple times and let the rings do the rest of the work. And then at that point, they should, honestly, the rings should scrape it enough mixed with the oil to get this totally cleaned up, and then we won't have to worry about it. If that doesn't work, then we can move to an abrasive, and if that doesn't work, then we pull the bottom end and we hone it, which I really don't want to do. I could go through and do an insane, build on this and rebuild the whole engine, but it's not, like, for what the car is going to be and what it is. If it was some crazy nice car, sure, if I was going to keep it and build it, but I'm not looking to build another 525 at the moment. So this is basically just going to get together so that it could become a daily driver for me. So I got a brand new microfiber here. I got some 520 oil. Let's see what we can do. Some of that rust is definitely staying on there. But let's try some gasoline here. I mean, gas gets sprayed into your cylinders anyway, so what is this gonna hurt? These are durable engines. Don't let this scare you. You can throw nearly anything in these cylinder walls, as long as then when you're done, you use a microfiber, brake cleaner and stuff, and clean them up, and then coat them with oil. Anything is gonna burn. Whatever you put in there is gonna burn off. It's nice to not have to put things that wouldn't already be in the engine, so that's why I start with motor oil, that doesn't work, you know, you can use Scotch-Brite, but then you have to worry about a lot of fine little particles, whereas if I'm using gasoline here, I think maybe we'll have some decent luck. So if this doesn't work, then I'll probably go to a Scotch-Brite pad, but we'll see. Definitely pulling off rust and making it look better, but there is a few spots that might be just a little bit too far. Yeah, probably a little bit too far here. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead, Scotch-Brite, and then if I had WD-40 I'd use it, but I don't, so I'm gonna use like screw loose, like I'm gonna use just any penetrating oil, and Scotch-Brite and penetrating oil, and get these cleaned out. I think that should do a pretty good job, and Scotch-Brite won't score the cylinders, so you don't want to use anything too crazy. In here, spray it on here, and let's see how this goes. It feels so wrong doing this, but it's actually working very nicely. Very nicely. Wow. You can see how good that looks. Still crosshatch, no scoring. That's one of the more problem areas right there we got to figure out. But like considered before, after, this is working pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead, continue hammering away at that, and go along the way, and then I'll have a bunch of before and afters, and I'll show you guys how it looks. This process seems to be working. I'm using liquid wrench. WD-40 would probably be better, but anything that's a penetrating oil works. And the Scotch-Brite pads, so. They cleaned up very nicely, and now before we spin, we are going to use some brake cleaner on all these cylinder walls and a fresh microfiber to get any residue out. And then I'm going to pour some oil in the cylinder walls, or wipe some oil, and then we can spin this thing and see how it goes. So I'm just trying to be as precautious as I can be here, but either way we're still kind of sending it. If you follow, you know, BMW racing, you'll hear stories about what they used to do with old engines. Like I think there's an old tale about like pissing on a, I don't know if it's a 6-cylinder block or what, like pissing on it one winter and letting it sit out and then building it, and it's making crazy power. I can't remember that story, but I know that is a story. But sometimes they say the best engines are built in the worst conditions, and we're gonna go ahead and become firm believers of that. I just want to show you guys what I like on this channel is showing you a real guy without endless tools and money, just to show you that the average person can do all this stuff to get, you know, do all this, you know. I'm not gonna go and show you guys me dropping off this block and head at a shop that is going to charge me $1,200 and then it's perfect, right? It's more fun to do things like this, you know, get it running cheaply, efficiently, and then seeing how it works. And I have no doubts that once this engine's back together in a week or so, in the next episode, that we'll be it'll be running and ripping and perfect. Let's go wipe some oil down these puppies. Oh, that was a lot. So this way, obviously we can spin the motor and not wear it, and we can, I poured so much in that one, holy crap. And now the engine can continue to sit before I put it back together and not rust. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if this thing spins. Oh yeah. Should probably take it out of gear, huh? And now I'm seeing a lot of residue now that these cylinders are going down, so I'm gonna probably wipe them. Like the residue from all the work I just did is now kind of coming up. Oh, this spins very nicely. Look at that. And they're clean, nothing crazy's showing itself once they go down. So all the points of which the cylinders were highest, nothing below those is rusted. So you can see here where this one sat beneath it looks totally fine. There is some, as I said, some minor residues that are coming up. but nothing crazy at all. Like, I don't think these need any additional like work. These are perfect. I have to say, I think we are looking perfectly good down here in the bottom end. As long as the rings didn't seize, meaning in like that M52, if you watch that E36 video I posted, where the rings were free, like the engine spun, but they, you know, rings expand, right? They can seize in their groove, and then you don't get compression. So as long as we don't have that, then we're fine. So I think we're good. Yeah, the cylinder walls are clean. Oh yeah. I think she is good to go. All right, there we have it. There is our new 525i introduction video. Got the cylinder walls cleaned up nicely. Again, I'm sorry for the backyard mechanic way of doing things, but I think people can appreciate that. And I think once I show you how good this car runs when it's done, you'll be like, okay, I'm overthinking it. Because I'm the same way. You overthink things like that. But these engines are very stout, very reliable, very durable. You don't have to worry about, it doesn't have to be some airlocked, perfection, no dust room. Like, you'll be all right. So hopefully you guys are excited to see this thing get put back together, because I am. I'm excited to get to drive this thing and enjoy it. I'm happy that those cylinder walls came back nicely without having to take the block out and honing it and stuff like that. So yeah, here is another new project. We got two 525s on the back burner. The E28 obviously, you know, in the works. Got the 7 Series in the works. Got a lot of projects right now, but I love it. It keeps me busy, keeps you guys entertained. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you when we're putting this head on. Peace.